Good morning to one and all. Today we are discussing the topic, our fourth unit, fourth concept, that is nothing but main components of programming model. What are the main components, including in that programming model? What we can say the model. Model is nothing but the abstraction of reality. Okay, the abstraction of reality. In that where the main components included in that programming concept we have to learn in that one. Okay, now we can see the first of all we can see the security, including the in main components of programming model we have so many sub concepts. First of all we have to learn about security. What we have to learn? Security. Look at this. Coming to the security, we have to learn about the grid security infrastructure. What is the main concept of security in the sense? First of all, in grid we want to provide a security. Okay, in grid security, it is used to establish the authentication for users and resources. The main concept here, what we want to say in the sense, grid security, it is used to establish the authentication for users and services. What more? Users and services. It is nothing but the concept of security. What it provides? It provides the secure communication from one to another. It provides some secure communication and authorization of permitted actions. What they said to be authorization of permitted actions for grid users. Okay, and management of users. What are the credentials and membership information we have to provided it. Okay, it provides some secure communication and authorization of permitted actions for grid users and management of users. Later we can do their the what they provide in the sense the credentials and one more membership information they provided in grid security. Okay, the main concept, it is used to establish the authentication for users and services. Coming to the Globus toolkit for security mechanism, it is based on X.509. It's a platform. ZT4 security mechanism is based on some X.509 and the entity certificates and proxy certificates. It's based on the entity certificate and one more proxy certificate. The main concept here, it's a second is publishing the information as a service group at a single location. These functions are we have to see it realized at virtual organization level. Okay, coming to the concept of we have to learn about what the grid security infrastructure provides, what it is exactly in the sense. Grid security infrastructure is a security component. What it is? It is a security component of grid technology. Coming to the grid technology, it is a security component that is nothing but grid security infrastructure. What it provides in the sense, it provides authentication, authorized person and message protection for the communication between users and grid resources or whatever it may be services. Okay, we can say what it provides, the authentication and message protection for the communication between the users and grid resources or services. What are the major motivation we can see now? What are the major motivation of grid security infrastructure, or what we want to meant into the say in the sense, we want the major motivation of GSI in the sense grid security infrastructure. We have 3 points. First one is we want to establishing the secure communication. What we want to establish? The secure communication in between authenticated and confidential. Okay, between the grid elements. We want to establishing secure communication between grid elements, nothing but we can say authenticated and confidential. Okay, and coming to the second point, we want to supporting the security. What we want to supporting the security across organizational boundaries. We want to supporting the security across organizational boundaries without we are using a centralized security system. Without we are using a centralized security system, we are supporting the security across organizational boundaries without using a centralized security system. And coming to the third point, we can say the major motivation of a grid security infrastructure is that we want to supporting a single sign on for grid users. What we want to supporting a single sign on for grid users to avoid what we want in the sense sign on for grid users in the sense to avoid re-entering phrase. We want to avoid re-entering passphrase when the user's application uses multiple grid sites. Once again, I have to repeat this point, listen carefully. The third point is we want to supporting single sign-on for grid users in the sense to avoid re-entering passphrase when the user application uses multiple grid sites. What the mutual authentication in the sense we want to show a diagram coming to the mutual authentication. The later subconcept in that security, we have mutual authentication. What does exactly mutual authentication in the sense? Mutual authentication means the process, in the sense of mechanism, the process that two entities verify the identity. What I meant to say in the sense the two entities verify the identity of each other's certificate. What they verify? The identity of each other's certificate. What mainly the mutual authentication is what the mainly it is based on the secure socket layer. Sorry, what we meant to say in the sense mutual authentication is based on the secure socket layer, SSL protocol. Okay, now we can see the diagram here. We have to look at this diagram. This diagram represents you that is nothing but the concept of mutual authentication. Okay, what I meant to say in the sense mutual authentication, we want to recognize the each other's certificates. Exactly what it is based on in the sense secure socket layer protocol, it is mainly based upon. First of all, you have to see the two entities. A, A is one entity, B is one entity. The authentication from B to A is, we can see, first of all, the A person, the A user will send to the A's certificate to B, and then the B's entity, the B's person will give the text message to A, the correct authenticated from B to A, and then the A person will what can do the message encrypted by A, message encrypted by A, and then the B person will decrypted that message or whatever it may be, decrypted or a text message. We want to say text message, it's S, the authentication will be success at A side. Okay, and then the B person will do authentication from A to B. The B certificate will be the B certificate, the B person will send to the B certificate to A, and then A will can do the test message and then send to the B. Okay, later we can do what they can do. The B person, the message will be encrypted by B and then sent to the A's person. The A's person will do the decrypted message or whatever it may be, the test message, and finally they send to the B's person. It is authentication success or not. This is nothing but the mutual authentication between the user and between the user or service, whatever it may be. Okay, we can send one certificate from A to B. That B person will can do that B person will do the decrypted what the test message he can he can visit the text message, and then he encrypted by A, and then the A will and then the B person will do what they do, they decrypted that message, the text message, and then send to A. It is authentication success or not. Okay, this is nothing but the concept of mutual authentication. What the mutual authentication in the sense, what it is meant in the sense, what I can say in the sense, the precondition of mutual authentication is that both the entities, you can see that is one entity, the both the entities trust each other, the certificate authority, what they trust each other, the certificate authority, the correct person will send or not, that is nothing but the authentication, the correct authorized person that sends the certificate or not. The precondition of mutual authentication is that both the entities trust each other's the certificate authority. So the both entities have a copy of the certificate of the other's entity. Okay, so both entities have a copy of the certificate of the other entity's certificate authority. They must establish the connection correctly that these certificates belongs to the respective certificate authorities or not. Okay, this is a symmetrical process. Okay, this is a symmetrical process, we can say, that is nothing but mutual authentication. What the figure illustrates you that in the sense, this process says the first phrase is the authentication from B to A. In the sense, A sends its certificate to B. Listen carefully, otherwise we can't able to understand the concept now. B confirms A certificate and sends a text message to A, and then A receives this message that receives this A receives that message that encrypts this message with A's own private key and sends it to B in order to test A's identity, and B decrypts this message with A's public key stored in A's certificate. Okay, listen. If the decrypted message matches with the original message B, okay, it trusts A or not. Okay, coming to the second phrase, the second phrase involves the same authentication process, but this time from A to B. Through the mutual authentication, both the parties A and B trust each other. Okay, this is the concept of mutual authentication. What the concept we have to learn now? Mutual authentication. And later we discuss the concept of that is nothing but confidential communication. What we have to learn about now? Confidential communication. What is the meaning of the confidential communication? In the sense, confidential communication, it is nothing but it is an optional security feature. It is an optional security feature. It is done by establishing a secret key. What it establish? A secret key for encryption. What I meant to in the sense, with this key the two parties can send and receive encrypted messages. Okay, with this key the two parties can send and receive the encrypted messages. In the sense, what I meant to say in the sense, a related security feature is communication integrity. A related security feature is communication integrity, and which does not require the encryption of messages, so the communication integrity mechanism means that even the eavesdropper can read the private messages. What I meant to say in the sense, communication integrity process means that even the eavesdropper can read the private messages between the two parties but cannot modify the message. What they can read, eavesdropper can read the private message between the two parties but cannot modify the text. What they cannot modify but cannot modify the message. So the communication integrity causes some extra, okay, some extra overhead. Okay, however, this overhead is smaller than the overhead in encryption. Okay, listen carefully. Communication integrity causes some extra overhead. However, this overhead is smaller than the overhead in encryption. It is the concept of confidential communication. Coming to the securing private keys, we want to do the private key will be a secured. How the private key is important for authentication and encryption of messages. What we can see, it is essential for authentication and encryption of messages. Okay, what does exactly the user's private key? It is stored in a file in the local computer's file system. What the user's private key is stored in a file system? The user's private key is stored in a file system in the local computer's file system. What I meant to say in the sense, in order to protect this file, from unrestricted access, okay, and it is encrypted with a password. What, in order to protect this file from unrestricted access, in the sense, and it is encrypted with a password. To use this key, the user must enter the password required to decrypt the file. Okay, required to decrypt the file containing the private key. What it contain? To use that key, the user must enter the password required to decrypt that file. It containing the private key. In the sense, what we want to mean in the sense, that is nothing but security private key. What we want to say, that is a security private key. And coming to the concept of delegation sign on and proxy certificates, what we want to say now, delegation single sign on and proxy certificates. What, in the sense, delegation single sign on and proxy certificates, in the sense, when the user's application involves several different resources. What ma? When the user application involves several different resource users several different resources. Okay, the user has to re-enter the password many times. But the CSI, what my here CSI provides a proxy credential for avoiding this trouble. What the provide the CSI provides a proxy. What CSI, not CSI ma, GSI, grid security infrastructure, provides a proxy credential for avoiding this trouble. What I did a mistake here, not CSI, GSI, grid security infrastructure, provides a proxy credential for avoiding this trouble. What I meant to say in the sense, it is similar to a user credential and a proxy credential. What ma? It is similar to a user credential and a proxy credential. It also contains a certificate and a private key. What does do exactly? When the user application involves several different resource users, it has to re-enter the password many times. So the grid security infrastructure provides a proxy credential for avoiding this trouble. In this way, we can learn about this delegation single sign-on and proxy certificate. It is similar to a user credential and a proxy credential. It also contains a certificate and a private key. However, we can say it is slightly different from the user credentials, so that an application knows that this proxy is on the user's behalf and not the actual user. What I meant to say is, it is slightly different from the user credentials, so that an application knows that this proxy is on the user's behalf and not the actual user. Now we can say that the proxy certificate is signed by its owner, rather than a certificate authority. Okay, rather than a certificate authority. Once a proxy is created and stored, once a proxy is created and stored, and the user can use what ma the user can use the proxy certificate and private key for mutual authentication. For mutual authentication, the user can use the proxy certificate and as well as the private key for mutual authentication without entering a password. Without entering a password, he can use the proxy certificate and private the key for mutual authentication without entering a password. Coming to the concept that is nothing but data management. The data management or FT, in the sense we can already seen the reliable file transfer, it should available at all times. We can pass the we can transfer the files. Okay, the main concept here, Globus Toolkit 4 contains several components. What it contains? Several components for data management. GT4 concept, it contains several components for data management. In this sense, the grid file transfer protocol and reliable file transfer service are used for data movement. It is used for what purpose? The data movement purpose it is usable. Data movement, the name itself state what data it will be moved, what data it include in where that one, which data it contains. Several components for data management and what service we are using for data movement. Okay, coming to the RLS, the name indicates, the name abbreviation, the name full form, in the sense replica location service. What we want to say? Replica location service. It takes the charge of tracing the copies. What ma it takes charge of tracing the copies. What it tracing the copies or a replica of data. Okay, in the sense what I meant to say, in the sense data replication service, it is based on reliable file transfer and we want to say RLS, replica location service. Okay, it is responsible for a pull based replication. What pull in the sense lag, in the sense pull అంటే లాగడం, pull based replication, in the sense data replication service, it's based on reliable file transfer and replica location service. It is responsible for a pull based replication capability for grid files. For grid files, it is the capability to do that, the pull based replication capability for grid files. Among these components we can say the grid file transfer protocol and replica location service or the pre-web service components. What are these? These are pre-web service components. So we can say the reliable file transfer and DRS, in the sense what DRS, data resource something service will be there. It belongs to that web service components group, web service component groups. In the sense we can say the mainly the concept here, what we have to based the data replication service, it is mainly based on reliable file transfer and replica location service. It is responsible for a pull based replication capability for grid files. Among these components we can say the grid file transfer protocol and replica location service. What we can say, the replica location service, these are two pre-web service components. So the reliable file transfer belong to the web service component group. Later we discuss the concept of data management components in further video. Thank you, ma.